What is up, fragrance heads out there everywhere on YouTube land? Thanks for joining me here on my channel, Stephen Sturgill. I'll be your host for the next few minutes as we get into talking about none other than the infamously famous, or famously, no, anyways, Millesime Imperial from the house of Creed, Mr. Creed Olivier, the sixth and seventh generations of the Creed lineage family. This was mega hyped all over Fracom a few, really way back, but especially a couple years ago. And Jeremy Fragrance just hyped this thing to no end. I'm not saying he was the only one, but he really pushed his love of all things Creed and especially Millesime Imperial, along with King Aventus and many others. But I tell you guys, I'm not just an acolyte fan of the House of Creed. I don't just worship at the altar of all things Creed. I frankly find their house uh I mean it's inconsistent, very inconsistent. I think they have 3, maybe 4 frags that are legitimately between very good to at least very interesting. And then the rest for me are largely hit and miss with more misses than hits. That's just my opinion. I'm a guy, I've got my taste. For any of you that watch my channel, you know that I tend to really like woody, musky, spicy Orientals and Fugeras and Chypres that have lots of sillage, anywhere from semi beast mode to just full on nuclear levels. And I like darker, I like woodsy, I like spicy, I like just, yeah, very masculine and interesting and rich, thick scents in general. Not all the time. Occasionally I like a, light freshy, medium light freshy, or something of that nature. But so I just want to preface this with saying, on the one hand, I'm not just trying to take a dump on certain Creed scents because the mighty Steven says they suck. It's not what I'm saying. But I find some of their fragrances to be very semi-indistinct, not a whole heck of a lot of character, and just a bit bland, a bit vague, a bit like it wants to kind of disguise itself as a freshy, cleany, soapy type frag, but it also wants to play a little bit in the chypre and the woodsy, musky, almost fougere, but not doing any of those 100%, not even 80 or 70%, just kind of 40% this, 35% that. And so what I'm left with in general, guys, is a frag that doesn't say a whole heck of a lot on my skin. That's just my opinion, but let's get into it. Got this beautiful decant Creed Millesime. And for those of you that may be thinking, oh, this is you got a fake or a knockoff or whatever. Nope, not the case. I got this #1 from a mega trusted source with like straight 100% feedback. Has done thousands of transactions online, many hundreds, if not thousands, just with Creed alone. And I will also add to that I have smelled Millesime Imperial in the actual Creed section of Neiman Marcus here in Big D, right out of the bottle. And yes, this smells identical. So you needn't be concerned on that note. This is the real stuff. Now, I already sprayed earlier. All this area on my arm is to dry down, but I will go ahead and give it fresh. Okay, let's get into it. #1, again, I'm not the ultimate king of liking light, ethereal, freshy, fougere aquatics that are somewhere between something sport, or as the Germans say, sport. Also, I think in Dutch. I like the immediate opening. I will say that much. I like that immediate zesty, fruity opening. Unfortunately, on my skin at least, that dies down almost immediately. It dies down just within seconds to minutes. And what I'm left with, guys, is something that is lightly, very faintly citrusy, with a pretty light, clean musk, and quite some strength or some note of ambergris or ambergris. I think it has a little more ambergris than I would care for. I'm not a huge fan of ambergris, which reminds me, I haven't done a review on ambergris showers by the House of Rasasi. Need to get that one out. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even know where the bottle went. Anyways, I'm a hot ghetto mess these days. I got to get my stuff in check and get everything organized. And so on my skin, the scent is quite vague and light, very light, and bordering on something soapy, freshy, clean, something like Prada, L'Homme, with the chrome bottle or cap or whatever that is. It's kind of ethereal. It's kind of almost a semi nothing burger, honestly. It just, on my skin again, it just doesn't say much. It just doesn't. There's not much of a story. There's not much depth or dimension to this frag. Yes, there's a little bit of fruit notes. Yes, there's just a hint of citrus. Yes, there's a hint of musk, and there's quite some hint, more than a hint, of ambergris. What they call marine aquatic notes and some sea salt. I don't get much of the salt, quite frankly, but whatever. And I would easily, if someone told me, Steve, you can either have a Ventus or Green Irish Tweed, Treed, the rest of your life, and you'll never see Millesime Imperial again, I would say arrivederci, buona fortuna. I'll never see you again. That's fine. I'm good with that. I don't care. I will never ever be rocking this scent. I'll never be buying this bottle. Now that's just me. I'm not trying to take a dump on the frag. I know that there is an acolyte following out there of Millesime Imperial followers. We love it. We wear it daily. It's our go-to scent. I'm not trying to get you guys riled up or mad at all. I'm not mad at you, man. You rock what you want to rock, wear what you want to wear. But again, on my skin, for whatever reason, my pH balance, my skin tends to just chew up fragrances, much like Carlos complains about or mentions on BFL, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Check his channel out if you haven't. Happy Thanksgiving, Carlos, and all you fellow reviewers out there. And I want to give some love to my boy. Let's see, where did it go? I'll be right back. Let's see. I was trying to give some love to one of my fellow reviewers, and I could not remember his name, which is embarrassing because I'm a pretty good fan of his channel. Is it Yanis? I want to say it's Mr. Yanis, or let's see, just a second here. Oh, Zayas. I'm sorry, Mr. Zayas 81. Yeah. Much love, Mr. Sayas or Sayas. Definitely been watching his channel for a while, and does some really, really cool, very, very in-depth, nuanced reviews. And he really brings a lot of passion to the game. Yeah, he posted one on Casa Moratti Mephisto Gentiluomo 6 days ago. Anyways, check his channel out if you haven't. That's Mr. Zayas 81. Happy Thanksgiving, hermano. Hope you're doing great. And I look forward to your next couple of vids. No doubt. Okay, getting back to my live feed. There we go. Clear, what the hell is going on? Okay, whatever. Okay, anywho, I don't see anybody out there. I would have figured one or two would have chimed in on the live chat feed. I guess we're all getting ready for Thanksgiving here in the States. Really one of our big mega holidays. And as a Dallasite, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's Dallas Cowboys game. They've been on quite a winning streak, although I'm not fully sure I buy it. The formula is a little scary, and I still think we've got some depth issues, and we definitely have some coaching issues, but I won't get into that now. Anyways, that's gonna do it. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to throw it, make you mad out there, guys. To if this is your go-to scent, it just doesn't do much for me on my skin. Doesn't say much. Doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of depth or dimension. The notes aren't that clear, and it's not all that masculine. But having said that, even if it weren't, I don't care so much the fact that it's very unisex. It's nowhere near loud. It's just not. It's barely audible on my skin. So I don't have a problem that it's not just screaming loudly. It's just not even barely audible. I mean, it's audible if I get my nose right up on it and go like that. Short of that, I can barely detect it in the room or on my skin. I know, it could be an anosmic to it, but I think not. And I just think Aventus just blows this away. Green Irish Tweed blows this away. For me, this is a semi nothing burger. Does a little bit, so it's not a full on nothing burger, but it's close to being a nothing burger. And maybe I'm partly to blame. I've just never ever been into light freshy aquatics in general. They're just not my cup of tea. And while this isn't strictly speaking a light freshy aquatic, it definitely leans very, very heavily into that domain. So for me, guys, if you want to throw 150, 175, 250, whatever, 400, if you get the ginormous bottle, have at it. Life is short. You spend your money the way you want to. I personally cannot really in good faith recommend this scent to anyone. It's unimpressive. Doesn't do much for me. Doesn't say much on my skin. There's not much of a story, and whatever story there may be, it's just almost inaudible, again, on my skin. It's not terrible. I can detect some of what fans like about it. I do like that immediate opening, and I feel like if that could really stick around and keep on doing its thing, I would be a much, much bigger fan than I am. But unfortunately, as soon as it dries down, again, it becomes almost a semi-nothing burger. So that's going to do it. Make of my review what you will. Again, I'm not an acolyte. I do not worship at the altar of creed, and I make 0 cents, nor dollars, nor shekels, nor rubles, nor yen, nor yuan, all the other global currencies. I don't make any cryptocurrency, bitcoins either. So at any rate, guys, signing off. Spray often, spray well, live life on your terms, not someone else's. And we'll see what I have in store for the next review. Much love and happy holidays, guys. Peace out, and I will catch you next time. Oh, like, subscribe, click the bell for future updates. Por favor.